Lord have mercy. Even when you're driving a car and you're going forward, there are things that, oh God, there are distractions on the road. You got different signs. You got all type of stuff, that even birds flying across your car. You got bugs hitting your window. All type of distractions. But guess what? The car is equipped for the distractions. Once the bug hit the windshield, all you got to do is click that. My God, I wish I had a church. A little bit of water to hit the windshield and start to wipe it off. No matter what the devil throw in your life, you are equipped to come out of it.
Let's talk about the transition to Bibleway. Okay. So how did you meet, or where did you hear Apostle Cowart? Where did the interest come as far as you joining the organization? Give us the background behind that story.
So I'll say this. So in 2000 and I think it was like maybe 13, I wrote this letter to God, right? I said, Lord, I want a real spiritual father. I said, I want to open up a business. I said, I want this church to be furnished. That's when we had got a building or whatever, and wanted to get carpet and all that stuff like that. So I want you to give us the finances for that. I asked for a certain amount of money, and I also prayed that my family, brother Minister Tim, I asked and prayed that they come down and move this way. And so that was in a letter written to God. And I think I still have that letter, man, to this day, 7 years old. And so, man, everything got answered in that letter. So I'm driving one day. This is when I was a manager at Arby's. So I'm riding in Savannah down Bay Street, and I see this tent revival. I'm in a car with somebody, and we're riding past the tent revival. We're supposed to be going to grab something to eat, and I see the tent revival. I was like, man, I haven't seen that tent all week. And I was like, let's stop. I was like, I said, man, I'm hungry. I'm trying to get something to eat. And we're like, no, come on, let's just stop and see what they're talking about, whatever. So we stop. And we go and we sitting under there, and a person's like, do you see the pastor? Is that the pastor right there? And I'm looking around. I said, no. I said, whoever the pastor is, they're not here yet, or whatever like that. So I see this black car, like an Altima or something with a Florida plate on there. Mm-hmm. And so a gentleman gets out the car. It's Apostle. He gets out the car, and I said, that's the pastor right there. And so, of course, he comes in the pulpit and he get ready. He start ministering, whatever. We stayed through the message. And afterwards, I think he started praying for everybody. And so we went up there to get prayer. And he just was kind of like, you're musically talented. God has blessed you with music. And I'm like, whoa. So, okay, I play the keyboard, right? He's like, and God is going to allow you to pastor many. I'm like, man, this man. Thinking to myself, like, I done been in many churches and I've never really got no prophecy.
Right. So right now he 2 for 2.
He in there. He started speaking some stuff, man. And I'm like, dang, man, I said, okay. And then so we left, and I didn't get no information or nothing like that. We just left, and we was talking about how good of a time we had. And then so somebody contacted the person I was with, and it was like the pastor that was at, the guy that was in Savannah, the preacher, whatever. He's looking for the guy that you was with. And they were like, okay, maybe we could link up, whatever like that. We could never connect. Man, maybe a year or so later, I'm at the bank at Arby's, and I hear this voice. I said, man, that's a preacher, man. I said, it's a preacher voice. And he turns around. I said, hey, you the guy that was in Savannah, right? He said, I knew God was going to send me here to come talk to you. I was like, wow. He said, yeah. He gave me his number or whatever like that. And we had like some type of revival coming up, anniversary or something of that nature. And so we requested for him to come. And he was like, okay. He came and ministered. And matter of fact, that was on a Friday. He wanted me to come check out the temple and stuff like that. That next day, he said, you ain't got to worry about it. You come stay with me and whatever like that. So I'm thinking hard, like, man, should I go? Or so I'm just meeting this guy. And so I was led to go. So I went. And man, went down there, and just the hospitality, the way Apostle treated me, and from that day, since that day in 2015, we've been talking almost every day, and it's 5 years later.
Wow. And
so, man, he said, man, and I was like, man, I told him about my prayer, and man, we had a pretty full church, man. Had a pretty full church, and we started teaching truth, man. And man, I think I lost like 85%.
Wow. I was going to ask you, typically what we see when a church joins the organization is there some drop off. How much pushback did you get after joining Bibleway?
Man, a lot. A lot of the churches, I used to preach out here in Statesboro and the surrounding cities at least twice or 3 times a month, just going to different places. I'll go preach a revival somewhere. I'm going to tell you that in 2012, I probably preached almost every week.
Oh, wow.
And when I was a young preacher, man, and I was on so many revivals in this area, South Carolina. I would preach up north, but I did a lot of revivals like during that time. But all of the preachers out here, all of these pastors out here used to always call for me to come minister and stuff like that. I came with Bibleway, man. I ain't from none of them. Hear from none of them, which was fine. But I didn't hear from start ministering truth on. People don't see it the way Bible says it and stuff like that. So I got a lot of resistance and a lot of it was just a lot. And so overcame it, man. And God just started sending in the right folks, man. I mean, he put in all of the right pieces, man. All of the right pieces. It's been like the group that we have now is twice as stronger. Maybe 100% times 10.
Wow.
Stronger, more efficient. Everything we need. They're there. And they stick by me. They genuinely love me. I wouldn't say that people before didn't love me. It's just that they wasn't. Nah, yeah, I mean, they loved me, but they wasn't. I guess they wasn't with me, 100%.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's what happened, man. It was tough, man. Coming to preach, used to preaching to, 100 or something people on a Sunday, and then go down to like 15 or 20.
Wow.
It was devastating. So I'm looking around like, what just happened?
Yeah. So how did you stay encouraged through that time? Did you just know deep down that, hey, I'm making the right decision and this will turn around eventually, or did you kind of have some did I make the right decision?
I was on the fence, man. I was
really
I was like, man, what did I just do?
Yeah.
And then so I would talk to Apostle, and he would encourage me and stuff like that, and I would see I even had some resistance with my family, kind of like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know about this, I don't know about that, but now they love the ministry, they love Apostle and stuff like that. The last maybe 15, 20 people that was left was probably some family and just a couple of people that was just there.
Oh, wow.
And some of them kind of was giving a little bit resistance.
Really?
But they was like, they kind of just stuck through because we were related or something like that. But then eventually it was like, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
And, stuff like that.
Yep.
So it was different, man. It was different.
Got you.
Things at you, but the power is in the spirit. The power is in the direction. I need to grab somebody's hand and say, neighbor, whoa, neighbor, we gotta move forward. We cannot look back, or we can't go back. We just need to look back and see what God has done in our life, and continue to praise Him, and continue to lift Him up. Grab your neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, are you ready to move forward?